Hey, how are you guys? I just thought I'd take you on a little tour of the outdoor area of the Fitty Club, which is the local thrift store here in Spokane Valley, and it is a nonprofit that helps guys getting out of jail with housing and that kind of thing. And I hardly ever really go outside on this in this area because the store is so huge, but and I'll go out here sometimes when it's nice out, but sometimes when it's really, really cold, I kind of just peek out the window and see if there's anything good. And then I kind of just send Rob out to grab it. But right now is a really nice day, so I thought I'd just show y'all. There's Rob. It's kind of like a little junker's paradise. I mean, keep in mind, every single thing here is 50 cents. So I mean, being that cheap, you can definitely find some cool things to upcycle. And by the way, I'm not abusing Rob. He goes out there anyway. He'll go out there if it's 10 below. Yeah, look at this cute game. I don't know what it's for, but it looks like it was fun at one time, right? It's a membership thrift store and it's $150 a year, but then everything in the store is 50 cents. So I think I end up coming here a couple times a week and I never leave empty-handed, so there you go. I thought I'd just do a little tour of my shop. This is my little store. It's so cute in here. If you're in anywhere near Spokane, Spokane Valley, I hope you'll stop in. We have so much fun stuff here and we do classes and I have a lot of DIY type things like decoupage papers and paints and stamps, molds. Look at all this decoupage paper. This isn't even half of it. I hope you'll stick with me here because I'm going to do 3 really short projects that I got all the things at the Fitty Club. So I think all total on all 3 projects, I may have spent maybe $8, if that, including paint and supplies. For project number 1, I found this book at the Fitty Club, 50 cents. It's old-fashioned. I never thought I would be painting over Jesus' face, but here we are painting over Jesus. Sorry, Jesus. He's not the real Jesus. So anyway, now I'm going to go through this IOD packet. This is the Kitschy one from this year's holiday release. And I am picking out this angel. She's adorable. She and other things are going to go on this book. First of all, I gave the book 2 coats of Miss Lillian's water spigot, which is this pretty blue, and I think it really goes with the kitschy vibe of that transfer. And I did 2 coats and then let it dry really, really well. Miss Lillian's has a sealer in it, so the transfers go over it super easy.
Come to Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee, Christ the Lord.
I'm pouring some water in this little bowl because I decided to cut out some of the elements from the cover. I'm pretty stingy with my transfers. I know you probably are too when you're trying to figure out what to put on something. And I think with decoupaging sometimes, especially on these books, it's really fun to use the elements from the covers and I don't waste anything. So I grabbed a few of them, cut them out, and then I'm going to soak them in water for about 10 minutes just to make them more pliable and easier to decoupage. And then I took some of the florals from the transfer and I'm cutting them in quarters so that I could put a quarter of a piece on each corner, because I think that that will look good and it'll make it look like it's just coming in from the corners, if that makes sense. If you've never used a transfer, basically you just pull the back sheet off, lay it down, rub it on, and make sure that there's no bubbles by burnishing it a little bit with the plastic and then sealing it with a top coat. Now that Santa's been soaking for about 10 minutes or so, I'm going to take him out, and then I'm using Miss Lillian's varnish to decoupage him onto the book. You can use any of the varnishes. I probably am using the satin right now is what I'm thinking. I can't really remember, but any of them will work. Any varnish will work. Hey, yeah, I have a video from last year where I teach how to make these books. So if you want to learn how to make the books from scratch, I mean from an old book, you can go back and find that. I think I'll try to put it in my description box below. I added a bunch more of the elements from the cover and then sealed the whole thing with varnish, and then I'm just gluing back down the bookmark that was in the book to begin with, and then I'm going to just brush some Posh Chock pigment over it lightly, and I'm using the pigment powder along with the infuser. This is Posh Chock's pigment powder and the infuser, and it's super pretty gold, and I'm finishing off the whole book and then doing around the edges, and then I think this project is complete. For my second project, I saw this clock thing at the Fitty Club. The clock's gone, but I don't know, it kept calling my name. I walked by it a couple of times, went back and picked it up because I knew I could do something with it. I didn't know what, but the more I looked at it, the more I thought this would be a really, really cute, what do they call that? Like a, I can't think. Diorama. That's what it's called. It's called a diorama. So yeah, I bought this little deer from my friend in out of her vendor booth up at a store up north. It's called Rebel Junk. It's adorable. If you are in Spokane, you gotta go stop in there. It's so cute. But my friend had these little deer and I bought them because I just had a feeling I could do something cute with them, but I had no idea what. And I thought it would be kind of funny to buy them and then send her a picture and let her know that I bought them. And I thought the funny thing was is that I was with her when she bought those. There were 3 of them. I was with her when she bought them. And then I saw them in her booth and I thought, I'm going to buy these from her. And her booth is True Love Home Plus, and she is in Rebel Junk. If you go in there, please be sure to ask for her booth and go check it out. I have a lot of friends that have booths in different stores, and I just love them all, and I just hope that they are really, really blessed this Christmas time. Right now I'm putting some air dry clay in the cavity of the clock to make it resemble snow. And this is the little deer that I bought, and I'm just putting imprints in the snow so that I can glue him in later. And I grabbed one of my IOD molds. This one I think is from last year, and I wanted a little Christmas tree to put behind the deer, and this was a perfect little size. This is air dried clay, and then I'm just going to glue it down with the E6000 glue and put it inside the cavity of the clock behind the deer. And now I'm using the remainder of my clay. I only had a little bit left, so I'm using the leftover clay that I had in the package to make snow on the bottom of this clock face. Now I'm going to finish painting the clock. I think I started it the very first thing. I started painting, and then I had to like pump the brakes a little bit because I felt like I was getting ahead of myself. So now I get to paint. I did 2 coats, and then the back here I'm trying to make it look like the sky, and then I'm going to paint the tree in Miss Lillian's moss.
Walk outside and tickle the snowman's nose. Moving nimbly, did you hear something from the chimney? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Oh, whatever we do, we will be alright. These holiday wonders will open your mind. May all your wishes tonight come true. The love I lived, the dream I knew.
The back of the clock had a hole in it for the mechanism, and so I stuffed it full of clay and then E6000 glue, and then I just took one of the Tim Holtz disc things that I had, like a little pendant thing, see it says love on it, and glued it to the back right there.
Sweetly singing o'er the plains and the mountains in reply.
I painted some varnish, and then I took some gold glitter. Miss Lillian's has her own glitter that you can mix with varnish and make sort of a paint, and I just threw some glitter at it. And now, of course, I'm taking the Posh Chock pigment powder that is mixed with the infuser. I made way too much, so everything's going to get covered in the pigment powder, and honestly, it's so beautiful. This gold, I think, rivals the look of gold leafing. For my third and final project, I found this tray, and for some reason I cannot pass up an old rustic wood tray. I can't. So I'm going to paint it in the water spigot. I'm just using a chip brush. I'm going to do 2 coats. I thought about leaving it so that you could see the wood through it and make it more rustic looking, and then I ended up not doing that. What would you have done? Would you have made it look more rustic? Would you have painted the whole thing? I don't know why I did that, but that's what I did. Honestly, I had no rhyme or reason of how I put these on here, but I did end up cutting the florals in quarters again so that I could do the edges. I did some trims, I did some flowers. I think the red of these flowers looks so beautiful with that water spigot color. I love these colors together, don't you? And of course, since I had more of the Posh Chock pigment, I covered it I just smeared that on there. I covered the handles and dry brushed it and then sealed it with a coat of varnish, and all these pieces are done. Can you believe I only spent I spent less than $8 on all of this? You can look down in my description box if you're looking for any of the products that I carry, or if you're in the Spokane area. I hope you will think about stopping by and visiting us.
Do another scrape for the left, and then leave a thumbs up.